Hi guys, so for my science project, I decided to do a cyanotype, and if you don't know what that is, it's basically a mixture of two solutions. You put it on paper, and when that paper is exposed to UV lights or the sun, it turns blue. And so you can put cutouts on top of it, so only certain parts of the paper turn blue, and you can really make some cool designs out of it. So here I am mixing together the part A of the solution, which contains a mix of water and ammonium ferric citrate to make a combined amount of liquid. Part B of the solution, which is basically made up of potassium ferric cyanide. And you mix those two together, and then when you spread them onto a piece of paper with a brush, I'd recommend using watercolored paper just because it stands up to the mixture very well. But you spread the mixture onto the pieces of paper, and then you put whatever cutout you wanted to do on top of the piece of paper. For me, I just did a basic heart because I felt that was fairly easy. And then for this heart, I took it outside, and it was a bit windy, so I had to put a rock on top of the piece of paper so that it wouldn't fly away. But I left it out there for a total of 10 minutes so that it could just absorb UV rays. For my second piece of paper, I wanted to see if, since the sun is basically a bunch of ultraviolet lights, if a UV flashlight or black light would work as well to produce the same chemical reaction that causes the Persian blue color. And so here you can obviously see that it's working quite well, actually. I was a bit surprised by this just because I didn't know how it would work out, and that's science again, experimentation. And I just after that, when your cyanotype is done or it's turned the amount of blue you want it to, you have to put it into a bath of water. You just shuffle it around for a few moments, and then you dip it into a bath of normally 70% water, 30% hydrogen peroxide. And then you dip it back into the bath of water, and that normally just helps the cyanotype liquid mixture set into the paper a bit more and become more blue. As you can probably see from this one, it did not turn out as well as I thought it would. Then I tried it again, and this time I wanted to hold it over for longer, just to see if it was a matter of the time that the mixture was exposed to the UV light rather than it just didn't work as well. You can kind of see towards the bottom there, it looks a bit white or burnt instead of blue, and that's because the UV flashlight that I had did heat up quite a bit. And so I think what happened is it actually burned away part of the liquid mixture that was on top of the paper. So I just continued with that until I felt that it had the necessary amount of UV exposure. And then I did the bath again, water, hydrogen peroxide mix, and water. As you can see here, it turned out quite a bit better than last time, and again I just took a paper towel and tried to blot out all the extra liquid left on it. At this point, it did fade still a bit just because I blotted it in some of the wrong areas. It had been about 10 minutes, so I went outside to check on the cyanotype heart that I had set out in the sun. And sadly, at this point, the camera that I was using to film this, it died because I forgot to charge to the battery the day before, and that was my fault. But basically I did the same thing that I did with the other two. I just put it into the water bath, and then the bath of hydrogen peroxide and water, and then back into the water bath. This is just a picture of the cyanotype that I had done previously for a separate project, and it's just a closer representation to the deep blue color that the heart cyanotype I did that was left outside of what that looks like. And that's all I have. I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you for watching.